About 9, 10 years ago, I dreamed of being a professional footballer. I would practice on the field, I would watch football games, I would analyze every one of my favorite players' skills, like Ronaldo and Messi. I was dedicated to like always striving to improve my skills and get closer to my dreams of becoming a pro. But then one day, while playing for my high school team in Toronto, I realized that something wasn't quite right. Even though I was a decent player, whenever I stepped onto the field, I felt this like immense pressure to perform. And that pressure came from my obsession with playing like Ronaldo specifically. So basically replicating his moves, like his step overs, his movement, his style, how you're scoring goals. Instead of understanding the game and positioning myself to help my team, I was more focused on trying to mimic every detail of Ronaldo's game. And because of that, I developed a lot of anxiety and self-doubt, which held me back from reaching my full potential. So every time I touched the ball, I was more concerned about proving I could be just like my idol, Ronaldo, rather than playing my natural game and playing to my strengths. I wanted recognition, respect, and the feeling of scoring goals like Ronaldo. But the reality was my mindset was getting in the way. I was chasing an image rather than focusing on developing my own strength on the field, right? So even though my coaches tried to guide me, there were some coaches who tried to give me advice, my ego and my stubbornness kept me from listening and growing. So like sometimes I'll actually listen to them, but like I actually wasn't like taking the advice because I was just so stubborn. So as a result, I hit a low point. I realized I wasn't becoming the player I wanted to be, not because of a lack of skill, but because of the wrong mindset. My desire to be seen as the best, driven by ego and validation, the need for validation was stopping me from excelling in the sport in the sport I loved. I thought that playing like Ronaldo would earn me respect and the success I craved, but I was missing the bigger picture, which is football is not just about looking good on the field, it's about understanding the game, working with your teammates, and playing with a clear mind. Eventually, I decided to shift my mindset. I began to focus on understanding the flow of the game rather than forcing myself to mimic someone else. I learned to play to my strengths, develop my own style, and trust myself eventually. It dawned on me that being the best wasn't about copying someone else or goals or all these stats. It was about becoming the best version of myself. And through this journey, I discovered a deeper lesson, not just in football, but in life, and that is sometimes chasing the image of success can blind you to your actual potential, your true potential. So ever since then, I embraced a new mindset. I learned that true success comes from aligning your actions with your authentic self, not from trying to be someone you're not, basically. And my dream of becoming a professional footballer evolved into a mission to help others and people like you understand the importance of mindset when it comes to achieving your goals. Okay, so that was some of the mindset mistakes that kept me from going pro and being the best player I could be, right? And these are some other mindset mistakes that you could be making in your journey, right? So just so you know, the reason why I was looking away from the camera was because I was kind of reading my story, so just forget that. But so point number one, right? Negative self-talk, right? So if you're the kind of person that talks negatively, right, just because things are not going your way and you're wondering why you're making mistakes, then this is like an easy mistake you could make on your mindset, right? Because you talking negatively about yourself is gonna impact your subconscious mind, and that's eventually gonna cause you to play the way you talk. You should always talk to yourself positively, even if things are not going your way. Believe in yourself, and just regardless of your performance, just believe that that was just a bad game. Like it is what it is. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna do better next time because you're training hard, and you're also experimenting as well. You don't know your play style to a T. You gotta perfect it. If you're mastering something, you're gonna fail a lot of times before you perfect it, right? So it's not a bad thing if you're playing badly. It's just you need to get the bad aspects of your game away, by perfecting your game, right? A second mistake you can be making is your lack of focus, right? So there are a lot of distractions, especially with social media, TikTok and this IG reels, so that can impact your mindset and your attention span, and you kind of want to be able to put, balance it out and kind of put certain things to the side when it comes to okay, I want to become a pro. So if I say I'm training at this time, I'm going to train at this time, there's no excuses. There's no, I'm scrolling on TikTok, I'm kind of lazy, I'm kind of distracted. No, you got to be focused and say, what, this is what I have to do to become a professional. So you have to succeed by training once a day or twice a day or 5 times a week, whatever your goal is or how you're training. So always stay focused. There are techniques in my previous videos that I've given you on how to focus, breathing techniques, meditation, things like that. You can look into it. Right? There's also fear of failure. All right. So a lot of guys fear they're gonna fail during their journey, and the truth is you're absolutely gonna fail, right? So I'll know why that's a fear. Get the failure out of the way, then you succeed, right? Failure is part of the process to become successful, right? So if you're not in that mindset where it's okay, I really need to fail as much as possible. The more I fail, the more I learn this is not what to do. That way eventually you know actually what to do. Do you know what I'm saying? So learn to embrace failure. Everybody fails. Some people are talented and it looks like they can't fail, but everybody has their good and bad parts in terms of skill level, right? So just understand if you're failing in a certain aspect, that's fine. You just need to work on it until you become better. Take the risk, improve. And I've created videos on how to overcome fear, right? So watch those videos and then you kind of understand some techniques you can use for that. Lastly, complacency, right? So guys, it's very easy to get complacent, right? You're doing the same thing every day. Maybe you feel things are good right now. There's nothing that you need to improve at. Maybe, at your team, you're a decent player, you're playing regularly, or I'm really good. No, you need to get hungry, right? Nothing should ever be good enough, right? You need to keep trying to take more as much as possible. Everybody's trying, it's a competition in life, right? Everybody wants your spot, right? Even if you've solidified your spot right now, doesn't mean you're going to have it forever, right? There's always someone who's hungry and then better that could take your spot, right? So you need to always be now hunger mindset, right? If you're complacent, you're never going to push yourself to improve, right? So just remember that, listen, even though I'm good right now, I could always be better. Even though it looks like I'm the best right now, I could always be even better, right? There are people breaking records that people didn't think it's possible to break, all because they're not complacent, right? They want more, and you need to be one of those people, right? So always strive for excellence and it will pay off in the end, right? So you've seen people like Ronaldo, for example, he's already the highest official goal scorer in the world, right? But he wants to reach 1,000 goals because it's not enough for him, right? He's 39, he's not going to retire because he wants to reach 1,000 goals. He's already on 900 goals, right? So it's because he's never complacent. Most people would have retired his age, but he's never complacent. He wants more. Even if it looks like he's done everything and he's won everything, he still wants more as much as possible. That's a winner's mindset, right? So keep that in mind, guys. And if you're following all these tips I gave you, you're ready to be on the right track towards success, right? So, guys, I have a free consultation on the link in the description. So book a free call with me if you need help and guidance into going in your journey towards going pro, right? And I'll see you there, right? So guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.